So as Cardi says, killer weave, rock the lace. So no matter what preference you have, whether it's lace or silk or whatever material, just rock it. And today I'm talking about this hair topper. It is one from Highline Wigs. Maybe some of you guys have heard of her. She has very sought out pieces. She kind of puts them up on her website, and they're usually available just like singularly. Like there's only like one of its kind at a time typically, or very few, because she is kind of like getting them together and putting them out as she gets them together, or preps them for sale. So they're very sought out pieces, and you have to really be on top of it if there's a certain thing you want. She does have another method of getting what you want, but there is an extra fee for that, but there is such a demand for that she's even backed up on that. But that just tells you how amazing the pieces are when so many people want them. Let's get into this piece. So it is a 24 inch, so you can see it is pretty long. This is the longest piece I have, or longest hair I've ever had. And I'm in love because I thought I could never have hair like this. I'm gonna look down at my notes once in a while because I wanna make sure I give you all the right info. It is a 6x7, so that is 6x7 cap. It is a silk top. It is wefted, so you'll be able to see the wefts in the back in a second. It is a 130, I think it's 130 density. That's like her standard density. And it actually turns out that this topper is not the right choice for me because a 6x7 doesn't cover enough of the back. You could sometimes see, like, if I do certain, hairdos, or if like maybe the hair moves like a certain way, it'll expose the back. So as soon as I'm able to get maybe an 8x10, that's what she just suggested to me. As soon as I'm able to get an 8x10, I will be selling this gorgeous piece. I just want an 8x10, pretty much an exact replica of it. It is a natural soft black. And yeah, so let me take it off and show you what the inside looks like. So, it has a silk part, which you will be able to see in a second. This is the hair no topper, sans topper, but that's why we love our toppers. So this is the inside of the cap. This darker, or this like brown here, that is what is the silk part. So there is a limit to like the styles you can do. The topper I had before was all silk, pretty much all of it, and that was such a nice luxury. Then I realized a lot of other people don't make them that big unless you get a custom order, but most people aren't even doing custom orders right now because there's like such a high demand. So if you were to flip it, that means it's just this area that has the silk. So here you had this, that's the part. And then you would go down, there's more silk here. And then once you get to here, there's a little bit of silk left, but once you start getting into a little further out, you start getting into where the wefts begin. So you see how like it's no longer silk, it's actually becoming material right there. Then you go a little further, and then it's like total wefts. So it's still a good parting space, but I would love to be able to do more hairdos and not having to limit myself to like this area. But I will definitely take the pros of this over like previous ones that I've used. They have more silk space, but they have more cons, I think. But moving on, so you can see that it has multiple clips, but it only came with 4 on. I think it had, it was 1, 2, and then I believe it was 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it had a comb here. And the comb doesn't work for me because I need something more to grab here. I feel like I don't have enough hair to rely on just like a light grab from a comb. I need like a clip to grab. So that's why I put this one here, and then ended up putting this one and this one, so I put 3. And then I ended up putting this one in the back. That way I can alternate. So one day I will clip this top one, this bottom one, and these two sides. And another day I will clip these two and then these two, just so every day I'm alternating where I'm clipping to kind of help let the other areas rest a little bit, so I'm not putting the same amount of tension in the same place like every day. So yes, once I get an 8x10 cap, I believe I will be able to do more styles, since I won't have such a limitation. Because like right now when I grab this hair, let's say if I were to try to do like some sort of like high pony, or not high pony, half up pony, you end up just exposing so much more, and there's like more of a likelihood of the back of your scalp to be seen, and that's not what I want to happen. I have not cut this at all. It is all 24 inches. A lot of times companies sell their hair feathered, so it'll range, like the longest piece will be 24, but then like it'll start kind of like at 20 and it'll slowly kind of feather into different lengths. But some people like that, but I like the one length because it gives me, the consumer, the power to cut it however I want. They do recommend that you, when you get your piece, you cut it soon after. It's supposed to kind of help the lifespan of your piece. I have not done that. I've not had this for very long, but I've not done that because I want the person I sell it to be able to do whatever it is they want with it. If I go ahead and cut it, then that might be something that they would have preferred me not to have done. So I'm hoping so much to be able to get the 8x10 cap soon, so then I can definitely do that. So the piece I had previously was 16 inches, and then going from 16 to 24, that is 8 inches extra of hair, which is a big change. Like it's more weight because it's more hair. So it was a little bit of an adjustment for me. There were the following days when I first like transitioned, I think I did feel like my scalp a little more sore. You know, I was definitely taking extra precaution to like not unnecessarily weight or have it pull down or anything. I was just trying to be really delicate. I know it doesn't sound the best that our heads have to get used to something when our heads are already tender and kind of, you know, struggling as it is, but that's just kind of the reality. But it did not take very long for my head to kind of like, it would just be a little sore at the end of the night or something, but within like a week it was doing definitely a lot better. So let us talk about the cap front. Now, that has been my biggest issue with like toppers and stuff, is that the cap front is like a dead giveaway of you are wearing a piece, because you're able to see that material, the way it transitions, or how it's just like a stark, you know, transition from like your scalp to this. But what she does is she sews extra hair into, let's see if I can focus here. She sews extra hair into the front of the cap, so like right here, just so you're able to camouflage that a little more, which definitely is helpful, because if you just have like a piece of whatever, you can see it. So that is definitely a huge plus, because I mean, who doesn't want it to be a little, you know, more camouflaged? Return hairs. A lot of toppers have return hairs, and what I've seen or what I've have experience with is return hair on the top of the cap. And what that means, if anyone, you might already know what this means, but what that, for those of you that don't know, it would be like, you see there's like one hair that's just one small hair here, two small hairs here. But when a cap has excessive return hairs, there are just loose, small, short hairs flying everywhere. No matter where you like, you know, flip and try to go into, there's just return hairs there. And although they can be tamed, but sometimes you put a little product or you add heat, it's just kind of an inconvenience. And this one has no return hairs on the top. The only place it has like some sort of hair that comes back is on the bottom, like right here. It goes all around the perimeter of the cap like this, but who is that bothering? Nobody, not me. Like, it's along the bottom, nobody sees it, I barely see it, I forget that it's even there. So that's a definite plus, because you don't want to have like, already you're, you know, doing things to adjust your daily, you know, the things you do to get ready. You don't want to add, oh, I need to make sure I get up early to make sure my return hairs are down or whatever. And they are tameable, like I said, but it is just like such a plus to not have to deal with that. And plus, when you have a ton of return hairs like on the cap, you end up getting kind of just extra volume, which maybe some people want that, so then that works for you. But most people, it just makes it look, especially when you go from having like no hair or very little hair to having like this bulge on your head, like we feel, especially to ourselves, that it's super noticeable. So you just have like this like extra bulge, and it's like you're using a curling iron to flatten it out, you're using a blow dryer, you're using water, and trying to use even product. Like it's just something that is such a luxury not to have to deal with that at all. And especially from day to day, sometimes one day to the next you'll have to adjust that. You know, the next day it's fine one day, and then the next morning you have to kind of flatten it out again. You do not have to do this with these at all, so that's definitely awesome. Since it does not have return hairs, and like I said, it's one length. With other toppers, I have done like try to do like a braid, a side braid, or you can even notice it when the hair is twisted. When you do that to other toppers, if you were to do this, a lot of times you have tons and tons and tons of little hairs just sticking out, which make your braid look like really spiky or something. This one, yes, there is some, but it's not excessive. With other ones, it seems like it has like all this craziness going on, but throughout the hair. And this one it's nice because you have that one long length, so you don't have those, you know, sticking out pieces all over the place. And here is where it is wefted. This is where the wefts are. So if this is a 6x7, so if I were to get an 8x10, 3 more inches, I would have that would expand here. So that means extra rows of wefts, which is what I need to get that coverage back there, because I don't have much of coverage. Day-to-day maintenance, it stays flat, like I said. The part stays defined. The part stays defined. Even after washing it, it stays defined, which maybe you're like, oh, I don't want a defined part. Well, then you'll work your piece the way you want it, and it'll give you the results I think you want, the way I get the results I want. So it's nice to be able to wake up and just be able to day-to-day throw it in my head, day-to-day throw it in my head. I wake up early, so that means I don't have to define or reflatten it or heat it or anything. And also it stays straight. Like I thought my last pieces stayed straight. This one stays straight. Like my other pieces, like every 2 days at least I'd have to flatten them. But this one, it stays pretty straight throughout. If I go 2 weeks without washing it, I maybe straighten it once in those 2 weeks after the first time I straighten it, because when I first freshly wash it. But otherwise I don't. So I go from straightening it when I first wash it, maybe one more time, or maybe no times. So that is awesome for me. It's nice to be able to set the part. But not only that, like let's say I wanted to, like some mornings I'm like, ugh, I don't want it to be like this, so I kind of like move the hair a little bit. There's been times when I've like struggled with other pieces to just get something to lay a different way, or to redirect the knots. This is very responsive. Like if even doing it just like this with other pieces, it would be like impossible. But with this one, it's like, it's not bad, you know, like I just moved over that part and I can move over another part, and it won't be so resistant, which is awesome because it makes it easy to make changes. And when I wash it, I have tried wearing it without combing it out only, and without straightening it, and I did notice that it is a little bit frizzy, just like the tiniest little bit though. But that's enough for me to be like, I better straighten it. And I do, and then it lasts for the whole damn 2 weeks until I wash it next, pretty much. Unless I have like a special event that I want to like have it straightened for like extra, then I would. And then another thing, my hair is 20 inches, okay? The topper is 24. So let me just put this front clip here to show you. Oh, I could just show you how I put it on. And see how easy it is. So I got the two, so I did the front, back, and then I'm doing the side to side. Okay. It is a little back than I would usually put it. That's a little better. So my hair is, let me show you, up to here, and the topper, the topper hair is up to here. So 4-inch difference, but I always wear it, I comb it in together with like no problem. I've never, since it's such a good hair match, I never really have a problem with it being noticeable by anybody. Even when I have like a little of my own hair in the front, because it's like, yeah, maybe I have some shorter hair. No one's gonna question that. And honestly, I used to straighten my bio hair at least 3 days a week, at least, depending on what I had going on. But since I got a topper, when I had a 16-inch one from a different company, I pretty much still had to often enough straighten my hair because it would be just visible with 16 inches. Since I have this, and this, I don't know if the density is a little, higher than my last one, but since the color matches and it's just enough hair to go beyond like my topper hair, like the length, I most days don't even straighten my bio hair. And to me, that's a huge plus, because I am not just on this like hair journey for, on the topper side, but I'm also trying to nourish and keep my bio hair healthier. Like, I'm also on my bio hair journey where I'm hoping that I can keep as much of it for as long as I can, and not straightening it 4 days a week, and now only straightening it maybe once every 2 weeks, I think is a huge difference. And also, I used to get such a greasy scalp. It still gets greasy, but I don't have to worry about that because I'm wearing a topper, so I can go 3-4 days without washing my scalp. Like, I'll shower, but I won't shower my scalp because, again, I'm on this like healthier bio hair journey too. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone's feedbacks and conversation. It is really helpful. If you have a Highline topper and there's other things you like about it, definitely drop it here because I want to know, and I'm sure everyone else wants to know. So thanks for watching. Remember, we are fierce, knowledgeable, and taking control. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. Shout out to all the supportive people, friends, family, parents, people online, because they make all the difference in making us feel good too. It's not just about us, but the people we surround ourselves with. So Eric, my roommate, has been sitting there this whole time that I was filming that, and has just been one supportive person.